Hey everybody, welcome back. Okay, before we start anything, just look at this awesome shirt. Can you see it? I don't know, can you see it? My niece Stephanie got me this shirt last year and I just love it. Okay, so, what are we doing today? Well, today I thought I'd tell you my top 10 albums of the year. The 10 best albums according to me from 2017. Now, first let me just say, these probably are not the 10 best-selling albums of the year, most of them, and they're probably not your top 10 albums of the year, or most people's top 10 albums of the year, but they're mine. Okay, so let's start. At number 10, we have the Japandroids, with their album, Near to the Wild Heart of Life. Now, the Japandroids are awesome. They're two guys, but they sound like 200 guys. It's garage rock punk, I don't know what it's similar to. It's just really aggressive, powerful, huge anthems. It's just an assault with your fists up in the air. Positive songs. An incredible album. Not quite as good as their last album, Celebration Rock, but for two guys, outstanding music. Number 9, Roddy, Walston and the Business, with their album, The Destroyers of the Soft Life. Now, who are Roddy, Walston and the Business? First of all, that's a cool name. The Business? That's just a really cool name. Anyway, really cool band that I discovered on Conan O'Brien once this year, and then I had to listen to their whole album, and I was immediately hooked. Really good Southern rock. And honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Southern rock. Like bands like the Allman Brothers, things like that. They're good, but it's nothing I listen to like on a regular basis. But for some reason, this album is incredible. Passionate songs. And written in a really unique style where it's not necessarily verse, chorus. They change it up all the time. Not the best singer in the world, but really good group vocals. Really good album. Again, if you just want a really good rock album, especially Southern rock, check this album out. I think you'll really like it. Number 8, we have Jason Isbell and the 400 Unit with his album, The Nashville Sound. Now I say his because Jason Isbell is really the whole band. The 400 Unit is sort of his backing musicians that, he uses from time to time on different albums, but it's his band. Now, who is Jason Isbell? He's probably the best songwriter we have right now. He's incredible. Now, it's more of a country sound to it, but I'm not a country fan, so it's not really country music. It's more Americana, more folk-inspired with some country, some rock elements. Just really good songs. Incredible lyrics. He has this one song on there called If We Were Vampires. And it's one of the most beautiful songs I've heard this year. So if you want a good, kind of a country artist with incredibly beautiful songs, Jason Isbell and the 400 Unit with The Nashville Sound. For number 7, I have Perfume Genius with their album, No Shape. How do I describe Perfume Genius? Beauty. Sad beauty, if that makes any sense at all. 1 second you're listening to just the softest, most peaceful, precious meditation, and a second later the song just erupts into this symphony of emotions just spilling out everywhere. A perfect example would be their lead single, Slip Away. An incredible song. Lyrically, this band is deep, really deep. The singer, very different, very emotional again. You can tell I like emotional music. Are you getting that vibe? 3 or 4 bands in and all very emotional. But none of them sound like Perfume Genius. If you want to see a weird performance, check them out on YouTube. I think you might like it. For number 6 is finally a band or an artist you might know. And I'm talking about Lorde with her album Melodrama. Wow, what an album. Okay, now this is a pick that would appear probably towards the top of most big lists this year. Like I'm sure Rolling Stone, Stereo Gum, all the big top 10 lists of the year have Melodrama in there. And I certainly do as well. She followed up her just outstanding debut with a collection of songs that are really designed to challenge you as a listener. They challenge you as far as like what pop should sound like. She's almost redefining what pop should sound like in 2017, 2018, and I'm so glad she is. We needed something like this. We needed a new depth to what pop should be. Incredible album. Give it a listen. Number 5, one of my favorites, Langhorne Slim, with his newest album, Lost at Last, Volume 1. Now, I'm really happy with this album. Why? Because his last album disappointed me. I'm a huge Langhorne Slim fan. You have no idea who that is, I know. But anyway, I'm a huge Langhorne fan, and his last album had too much going on, too many sounds, too many extra things, and this time he brought it down again. He brought it back down to him, his guitar, some harmonica, really simple, beautiful. You know, honestly, I don't know if there is any harmonica on this album. Anyway, it's just some beautiful music. If you like traditional, good folk music with an acoustic guitar and some beautiful lyrics, Langhorne Slim's your man. Number 4. All right, number 4 is The Gang of Youths. No, that's not right. Just Gang of Youths with Go Farther and Lightness. Don't you love when you discover a new band, like a band you've never heard before, the sound you've never heard before? Every year that happens to me, and I really seek out those kind of bands. Something new, something challenging to me, and Gang of Youths was definitely that band. Now, they're a huge band in Australia. I think, from what I'm reading, they're like the biggest band in Australia. They've won like every award this year in Australia, like Australia's version of the Grammys. Like, they're all about it, like number 1 all over the place. In America, we have no idea who they are. So I'm really glad I discovered them. Who are Gang of Youth? What do they sound like? If you sort of took every great 90s band and threw them all together, we'd get Gang of Youth. I know that's really hard to describe. An alternative rock band, powerful vocalist. Wow, what a vocalist. He's sort of a mix of Bono from U2 and Matt Berringer of The National with a ton of bravado. With lyrics that are just outstanding and song titles that are outstanding. Just really good band. In fact, even though I listed them at number 4, they're probably the band I'm listening to most right now. I keep hearing this album over and over again in my car, and I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. Gang of Youths, Go Farther and Lightness. Go check them out. Alright, now here's a shock. Here's a band or an artist that will totally shock you that you had no idea I liked, that no one's ever heard of before, totally obscure artist. Ed Sheeran. Anyway, you know I love Ed Sheeran. I love everything this guy does, and he did not disappoint on his latest album, Multiply. Wait, it's not Multiply, it's Divide. Whatever it's called. He keeps using mathematical things for his albums, and I'm getting him confused. Anyway, his latest album is incredible. What a songwriter. I mean, this guy does it all on his own, right? He writes the songs. When he plays them live, and you should definitely see him live, it's just him. I mean, it's a huge stadium. It's just one guy, a sampler pedal, a couple other pedals, a couple microphones, his guitar, just him. What a talent. A really underrated talent. And calling Ed Sheeran underrated might sound silly because he's like the biggest selling artist of the past year, of probably the past several years. He's all over the place, and he's certainly rated highly in many places, but I don't think people appreciate him enough. As a songwriter, as a musician, he's pretty incredible. The man knows how to write a really good song, and you just can't deny that. For number 2, I have Bleachers with their newest album, Gone Now. The ultimate headphones album of the year. Seriously, put on some good headphones and just listen to this. If you love the 80s, those sounds of the 80s, like, and I don't mean the rock bands of the 80s that I loved, I mean sort of like those alternative, cool, like techno kind of indie bands of the 80s, then you'll love Bleachers. You could tell he grew up on that kind of music, the singer, Jack, and I'm so glad he did. My number 1 album of the year, that's The National with Sleep Well Beast. Now, The National is my favorite band. Easily my favorite band of all time. So obviously I'm a little bit biased here. You know, but seriously, this album is a masterpiece in every way. Their sound has grown in so many ways, and now they allow for more experimentation in their sounds with electronic music, which pays off here and there. I mean, they're still the same depressing band as always, but sharper, more direct, more comfortable in their skin. Honestly, I think with this album, The National proved that for me, they're the best band in the world. Okay, now there's a lot of other good albums that came out this year that are not on this list. But this is my top 10. I'm going to put the names of these albums in the descriptions in the description of this video, and check it out. check out some of these bands. See what interests you. I think you'll like it. All right, I'll see you later.